Hey, Chiefs Kingdom, we did it with your help. We crossed 6,000 subscribers here on the Chiefs Report. Next milestone, 7,000. Let's get there before week one. I think we can do it. We're like 900 something away. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Let's get to 7K before week one so we can continue to grow here on the channel. We're going to have analysis all throughout the 2020 NFL season as the Chiefs try to defend their Super Bowl title. So hit that big red button and subscribe. And now coming up, we got another episode of the Chiefs Report, latest rumors and news. Welcome in. I am your host, Harrison Graham. Let's get straight into it. Competition at defensive end. I think so. There's not a lot of starting spots up for competition. Obviously, Frank Clark is your starting defensive end on one side, but defensive end two, it's a little bit open, right? It's probably going to be a little bit more of a rotation, but I do think Alex Okafor is the favorite to win this job. Played well in limited action last year. Like I said, not a ton of competitions on this roster. The Chiefs brought back most of their starters from their from their Super Bowl 54 winning team, so you're really competing for roster spots, guys at the back end, more than actual starting spots, as most of those are set. Could a guy like Tano Passanio start? He is a guy that finally broke out a bit in 2019. Let's compare the two side by side. Obviously, Okafor played in just the 10 games. Did have 5 sacks in those 10 games. Had a forced fumble, 9 quarterback hits. I liked what I saw from Silent K, though, last year. He was a bubble roster guy heading into the season, made the team, had a good camp, and performed well. He's got versatility, can play inside, can play out, had 4 sacks. I thought he played better against the run last year as well. 11 quarterback hits. Thought that was nice production from a rotation type of player. As of now, I think Okafor is your starter opposite of Frank Clark, but I think Silent K is going to play a lot. I'm intrigued by Breeland Speaks. Will Taco Charlton give anything to this football team? We'll have to wait and see. He's been kind of a bust so far with the Dallas Cowboys and the Miami Dolphins, but I do think there will be some competition at training camp over the next couple of weeks as we get closer and closer to week one. I think Alex Okafor is your starter, but expect guys to compete and take some snaps because there will be some rotation happening at defensive end. Now, who will lead the Chiefs in sacks? Go ahead and predict for me in the comment section. I'll make this the pinned comment on today's video so you guys can debate down there. Is it going to be Chris Jones, Frank Clark? If any guy like Alex Okafor is a sneaky candidate, let me know. I'm going with Chris Jones, but you guys can reply to the pinned comment down below. Will the Chiefs' offense be unstoppable in 2020? Well, Arrowhead Pride, I'm sure there's no bias there, believes that Clyde Edwards-Helaire's addition, drafting the running back out of LSU, makes this offense unstoppable. And look, Andy Reid has said it himself. He thinks he's a better Brian Westbrook. For those of you who don't know who Brian Westbrook is, extremely underrated running back in the mid-2000s for the Philadelphia Eagles when Andy Reid was there. Probably the best the screen game running back in the NFL. He was that good. And Arrowhead Pride's right about this. The Chiefs have the best offense. Is it going to be completely unstoppable? Not all the time, but if they get stopped more often than not, it's because of their own doing, because they have too many weapons, starting with the best quarterback in the NFL who has put up godly numbers through his first 2 years as a starting quarterback. More on this story in a second, but speaking of Mahomes, if you want a Patrick Mahomes face covering, we got a couple of different styles for you. You got this 2-pack, another 2-pack available as well if you want more of the traditional Kansas City red for you guys. Go to chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. And you can get regular Chiefs ones as well. You can get this single one. You can get duo packs of Chiefs-themed ones, all at that link, chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. Now, we don't know if fans are going to be allowed at Arrowhead Stadium this year. If they are, I guarantee you'll have to wear a mask because the NFL has said so. So you can get a solo pack, a duo pack, a trio pack, a 4-pack, which is the best bang for your buck at $29.99. I'll put that link in the comments and in the description. Stay safe. Rep the Chiefs while you're wearing a face covering at chatsports.com/ChiefsMasks. More on this offense being potentially unstoppable in 2020. Look at the weapons. Tyreek Hill, who only played in 11 games last year, still put up big numbers. Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman, who I think is a prime breakout candidate for this football team. Is there a better wide receiver 4 in the NFL than Demarcus Robinson? I don't think so. Had 450 yards and 4 touchdowns as the number 4 receiver, basically the number 5 receiver when you factor in Travis Kelce, who's the only tight end in NFL history to have 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. There is just no holes on this offense. Maybe at times the offensive line isn't elite, but it's still pretty damn good and one of the best in the NFL. You add Clyde Edwards-Helaire to this mix, like Arrowhead Pride is saying, to potentially make this offense unstoppable. At times, it's going to feel unstoppable because how do you slow this team down? Do you double coverage Tyreek Hill? Okay, Travis Kelce gets me at coverage. Do you put 6 defensive backs out there? Okay, we'll hand it to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He'll get 6 yards. Like, there's just no easy way for defenses to try and slow this team down. I can't wait to watch Mahomes and the boys get on the field again. I think they're going to put up potentially historic numbers in 2020. Now, will it be the historic number? The 1950 Rams have the record of 38.8 points per game. Will the Chiefs beat that on a points per game average this year? Type Y for yes, type N for no. That's pretty tough to do. I think they can be in that 35, 36 points per game potentially, but 39? That's a lot, even in today's NFL. But if you think they can and think they will, type your Y for yes. If you're not so sure, type your N for no. Now, this is more of a newsy item because I think it's happening. The Chiefs gaining cap space, well, according to Tom Pelissero, that is what the NFL has decided, that all opt-out contracts, not just their base salary, but the bonuses as well, they're rolling over to the next season entirely. This includes bonuses, like I mentioned. So LDT, his full base salary and roster bonus, all carries over. Same with Damien Williams, which isn't that much money, but still a few extra $100,000 on his contract. So the Chiefs have about $10.5 million again all of a sudden, which is amazing because the Chiefs had $177 in cap space and still managed to do what they did this offseason. Here's more from Tom Pelissero saying NFL teams are about to gain tens of millions of dollars in cap space. The Management Council informed clubs that the bonus proration, not just the unearned salary bonuses, will be removed from the 2020 cap and upon notification if a player is opting out. So it all carries over from 2020 to 2021, so that is certainly something to keep an eye on. Could the Chiefs add yet another impact player? I mean, I don't think Clowney's in their price range at $10.5 million, but who knows? Maybe he wants to chase a ring on a one-year deal. I do think a guy like Everson Griffen could be in the price range now. That would be interesting. He would be your second defensive end opposite of Frank Clark. Logan Ryan's a player we've talked about. Could you bring in a Drake or Patrick? If Bashaud Breeland starts the season suspended, Eric Reid is still out there. There are guys the Chiefs could add on defense. I'm not going to show any offensive guys because we just talked about the offense. It's loaded, doesn't need anybody. But if you could get both of those top 2 guys at defensive end, Clowney or Griffen, who are you going for? Type JC for Jadeveon Clowney, type EG for Everson Griffen. Cast your votes down in the comments section. Now, again, this will be fascinating to see how teams approach this, especially Kansas City, who, surprisingly has a few extra bucks to work with. I think most teams are going to choose to save money considering the coronavirus outbreak and knowing that caps could be higher next year with all these players who opted out coming back next year, and they're going to have to take on that money. But we'll wait and see. I'm fascinated to see if Brett Veach has one more trick up his sleeve.